Hey, welcome to the Couch GM. Today we're talking with Bryce Miller, the top starting pitching prospect in the Seattle Mariners organization. First off, Bryce, congratulations on your first big league spring training. I know you have a lot going on, so I appreciate you taking the time with me today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, we know you've worked hard to get to this point, and a lot of people are excited to see your name on the roster this year. What are you most excited for in coming to play for the Mariners this spring training?
I mean, I'm just ready to go out and throw against big league hitters and you know trust my stuff and see it play against some of the best hitters in the world. So um, that's the main thing. Ready to go, healthy, and about ready to let it eat.
Absolutely. What's been your favorite part of spring training so far?
Uh, Probably the food. I think it's a big
Definitely the
upgrade
food.
food wise on this side. Yeah, it's a little bit better.
Right on. Is there a certain group of guys you've been hanging out with or working out with?
I mean, really, all the pitchers we're all together. I've got to know Kirby and Gilbert and Brash and all them a little bit better. Just being here. But it's only been like a week so far, so I'm sure give it another month, we'll be a lot closer than we are right now. But um, yeah.
Cool. So you've already had some live at bats. We saw on Twitter last week that you struck out Tom Murphy with one of your sliders because apparently you have two sliders now, which we'll get into it here in a second. Who
Mhm.
from the Mariners are you most looking forward to facing this spring training?
I mean, I got to go with Julio, right? I
Of
mean,
course.
that's got to be the the main one. But yeah, I mean, really anybody, any of the guys I've been watching over the last year, in the big leagues, seeing them rake on TV, be cool to get up there and throw against them. Uh, but main one's definitely Julio.
For sure. AL Rookie of the Year and one of the best players in baseball already. That's got to be the answer.
Yeah.
So once you make your MLB debut, are there any big names out there that you're looking forward to going against?
uh, I mean, being from South Texas, closest team to me is Houston. So I've been watching Houston since I was little. Been watching Bregman and Altuve for a while now. So really, that whole Houston lineup, I'll be excited to throw to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure. So we've heard that Logan Gilbert turns into his alter ego Walter when it's his starting day, which I'm sure you'll see at some point this year. When it's your day to start, are you the type who throws in earphones and you don't want to approach, or do you try to keep it light like Luis Castillo on his start days?
No, yeah, I'm the same dude on my start days as I am on a day I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
I'm not very serious on the mound, so I'm definitely not too serious leading up to the games. I like to keep it loose and like to talk to everybody and do everything like a normal day.
right on. Cool. Do you have any specific players you looked up to growing up, or is there anyone you built your pitching style around?
I mean, growing up, I thought I was gonna be a hitter and be a position guy and hit bombs, but so Lance Berkman was from my hometown, and um, you know, with Houston for forever, and so I watched him growing up quite a bit. Once I started to focus more on pitching recently, it's been I watched a lot of Walker Buehler, and in college we were similar size and uh, always threw hard and stuff. So uh, the last few years, it's been Walker on the mound that I've watched the most, probably.
For sure. And getting into your pitch arsenal a bit, Jerry Dipoto has said that the Mariners believe your fastball is one of the most impactful fastballs in all of the minor leagues. Can you walk us through when you first hit 100 miles per hour and what did that moment mean to you?
Yeah, I think first time I hit it was last spring training in a bullpen. It was like 100.4 or something, I believe. And that was something I've always been trying to do. I think the first game at A&M my senior year, I was like 98. Scoreboard said 99. I'm like throwing 99 of them. It can't be that hard to throw one more.
Yeah, right.
but I ended up not. I didn't hit it all of college, and then got here and started throwing harder, and went to gas camp last year, and that ended up, I think third or fourth bullpen, getting up to 100. So in game, I don't know when it was that I hit it for the first time this past season, but uh, you know, one thing that this past season kind of taught me was when I get to those 0-2, 1-2 counts, it's there's a point where it's like I can't just try to hit 100. I can't just chase the number and chase the velo, because 100 down the middle is not going to play as 97 at the top.
Right.
Um, so that's something I've been trying to focus on in bullpens this offseason, and lives, is like getting to the top and not velo chasing. But
More so dotting it up. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if I can dot up at 100, do both at the same time, then we'll be
I don't know
happy.
who can
But
get that.
yeah,
Have you
so
touched 101 yet?
I hit 101 last spring training. It was on Rapsodo, so I don't know. Can't say it's completely accurate. So, but
Yeah.
this year, that's the plan. This year, keep climbing every year. See what happens.
Yeah. So your freshman year of college, you topped out at 96 miles an hour. Now you sit around 96 miles an hour. Do you attribute the gain in velocity to weight training and weight gain, or a throwing program, or tweaks to your mechanics?
It's it's hard to pinpoint, just because like I go back to my freshman year of college, and that was my second year pitching, and it was the first year actually focusing on it. So I think, I was also 170 pounds, and that was the first year I started doing drive line and the weighted balls and stuff. So it's, I think it's, a combination of adding weight, learning my body more, doing weighted balls, throwing more, focusing on mechanics. That the last couple of years I've been doing relatively the same stuff, but I think it's the years have gone by and I've learned my body more, and we're just moving quicker.
Going back to high school, is it true that you didn't start pitching until your senior year of high school?
Yeah, all my years of high school I played outfield, and hit, and my senior year we had lost our older guys from the year before that really threw pretty much every inning, and I always threw hard, so I was like, yeah, give it a try, and ended up throwing quite a bit that year, and learning a lot about it.
Ended up working out for you, I guess.
Yeah, watching people throw, all the guys we have here, watching them throw, I'm like, there's literally no chance I'd be still playing baseball if I'd have went the hitter route. So
Yeah, and that's why they say it's the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball because you guys
Mhm.
have guys throwing 100 plus the first 6 innings, and then you got the bullpen you got to deal with, and they all have
Yeah,
plus movement as well. It's just impossible.
yeah, I'm glad I'm not a hitter. I say that just about every day.
Yeah. So 2022 was the year of the two seam fastball for the Mariners. Robbie Ray broke one out in the middle of the year. George Kirby learned it from him. Gilbert apparently was throwing one at the end of the year. Have you messed around with a two seam fastball, and would that fit your arsenal?
No, I haven't done any two seam work. For me, I think, I mean, the way the fastball plays, the four seam go, with the ride and the vertical approach angle that I throw at, I think for me, I got to live at the top, and four seam's going to play best for me. I like where I'm at right now. I
For
think
sure.
maybe, I don't know, if I play around with it and something happens, maybe, but I also wouldn't want to risk uh, having the four seam kind of fade off, by trying to throw a two seam. So
Right. Stick to what works.
Mhm.
Now, moving into your sliders. So you have two sliders now, the sweeper and the gyro. Can you walk us through the differences between the two pitches, both in pitch movement and velocity?
Yeah, so the gyro is going to be, ideally, it needs to be 88 plus. 90 would be great. It's going to be, hard downer action. And then the sweeper is going to be, once again, ideally it needs to be 82, 18 ish, pushing 20 horizontal, if we can get there. But Um, yeah, the sweeper was something that I kind of picked up mid-season, or I guess early season last year, and um, really ended up being a good pitch for me. I ended up banging the curveball last year and going straight sweeper and gyro,
Okay.
and it's worked out well. Movement way better than my curveball. Curveball I probably threw 2 or 3 times a game, and it was just flip it in there, steal a strike. Now it's like I feel like I can throw this pitch to anybody in any count.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my questions was going to be if you still had a curveball or if that's just the sweepy slider that we're seeing. So that's the same grip as Matt Brash grips it, right?
Yeah, similar.
Similar.
Yeah, he kind of bends his finger. I can't really do that, but it's pretty much just like a spike curveball grip um, that I go across the horseshoe and kind of throw at this angle.
Come across
So
it.
yeah,
Cool.
but yeah, I think a lot of times I'll see like reports on me and it'll say it's slider curveball, but it's really slider, but it's a, I guess, better way to describe it would be cutter slider. Um, but
Yeah,
they don't really.
I was curious if the gyro is somewhat similar to a cutter or because it's dropping more so than cutting, if that's why it's classified as a slider.
Yeah, I mean, if I was still throwing the curveball, then it would just be, easy slider. But I think with the two I throw, I think the best way to describe it would go cutter slider because the sweeper is not a curveball, but that's what it's been labeled at. Just
Yeah.
it's hard to label two sliders.
Yeah. And then your changeup, is that a circle change?
Yeah, I go circle. It's a two seam change,
Okay.
but changeup's been something that's I've always struggled with. And last year, I think I was struggling with it early in the year, and I threw against Vancouver, and they had 7 lefties in the lineup, and I was like, all right, I'm throwing the changeup today. Figured it out. I ended up throwing it like 20 times or something, and after that, the rest of the year it was good. But yeah, I mean, movement on it's always been good. It's just been getting it over the plate. I'll throw it, and it's just fades like arm side, white line, and I'm like, it's that's a worthless pitch. I have to get it over the plate. Got to throw it 60 feet, and get it there and give it a chance. Whenever I do that, it's good. But
Get the command down.
mhm.
So for you personally, what's the better feeling on the mound? Is it striking someone out with a challenge fastball or a breaking pitch that makes someone's knees buckle?
uh, I've always I'd rather throw it by them, give them the fastball, see if they can hit it.
For sure.
Uh, I mean, throwing the sliders are fun, but I'd rather just rear back and let it eat and see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, I know speaking for myself and other Mariners fans, we're excited to see what you can do for the Mariners in 2023. Again, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today.
Yes, sir.
And for those of you who want more information about Bryce and his background, check out my player profile video on my page, which I'll link to the end of this video. Thanks again, Bryce, and we'll see you soon at T-Mobile Park.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.